Hey there, Zoe-Anna. Let's look into the shift from masculine consciousness into feminine consciousness and what it all means and how it's playing out right now. We're in this accelerated time where things have definitely quickened up, and we've been invited more and more to take that inward journey into yourself, i.e. the shadow self, the things that you can't see. The masculine consciousness is that fight, that need to be seen, that recognition, that seeking of power, seeking of control, the domination, the aspects within self that are in protection mode, that is attempting to protect the identity, the labels. This is the way that I'm understanding the masculine consciousness and what we've had playing out all around us, and is still really, really playing out. It will seek to use others to feed off, to get power from, and anything that threatens it or threatens its labels or what it hides behind, it will push back and go into fight mode. So we have all of these different aspects playing out within ourselves. I was thinking about it today, and the masculine consciousness is almost like the false self, the identity of what we create. I'm seeing a lot of things popping up at the moment on different platforms of some that are acting as saviors, as light workers, and they're masking as the light. They're using words such as you need saving, or you need rescuing, and I can rescue you. This is a distortion of a program, a wounded program that's playing out. The damsel in distress, the knight in shining armor, comes along to rescue her. Now, the feminine consciousness, what it is, what I, from my point of view and from my understanding at this moment in this now, is the feminine consciousness is about the allowing that transition to go from to go from what you've known, what you've currently understood, to keep leaping into the unknown, to trust, to learn how to have faith, firstly in yourself, and firstly in a higher force, i.e. God, source, whatever terminology you like to give it. Feminine consciousness is about shifting beyond the senses, the five senses that can keep you bound or stuck in your feeding your addiction or feeding your disconnection with seeking something outside of yourself because it's meeting a need, it's meeting a want, it's meeting a desire. Again, that's that need to control, to have, to consume. The feminine consciousness is like, it's going beyond that into remembrance as soul. To let go of the need to fight back, as when you start experiencing that deep inner wisdom, and the more and more you start to see your patterns and your programs playing out of your woundedness, it has to be in fight mode, it has to be in protect mode, and you start addressing that, and you address the wounds that are attached to it, and you start truly going into that deep shadow work to realize that you are creating that in your outside world. The feminine, that chaotic, that wild, that limitlessness, when others have not fully experienced diving into that deep ocean of that, what I understand to be the feminine consciousness of not knowing, of keep leaping and trusting and having faith and building your faith and trust each time you step up and you courageously leap, which can sometimes be in those moments where you are so compressed and you're so put under pressure, because that is what needs to happen. It's a part of evolution. It's a part of initiation to break free of that 3D game of of power, control, of success, chasing on the hamster wheel. And there's a lot going on at the moment. When you step out of that and you truly start going on that journey to knowing thyself, of letting go of those aspects of who you thought you were, the labels, the identity, the story that you hold on to because it's who you think you are. And you start to open up into this creative realm as this empty vessel for source energy, for God energy to flow through you. To then allow your divine expression to flow through so easily and effortlessly. To no longer be in a place of competition because there is nothing to compete with. To keep going deeper and deeper into that state of allowing, which is the path to truly following through on your spiritual path. It's been really interesting looking back at my life, and I've personally gone through this massive healing, deeper healing of womb healing, and now guiding others through that. To really see how that strong, fierce warrior that I felt I was being, and being very feminine with it, was so masculine on the outside, constantly in protect mode, constantly in fight mode, and we have that playing out. When I hold space for people, I'm a mirror so they can see what they need to see within self. And what I'm experiencing is, and I'm calling it out, is the men that are in the space that are also doing this, or doing healing work, or their personal development, whatever it is, they will come and sit in that space, and then they will unplug, because it's confronting to start to see what you need to see. To be met in a space of unconditional love. To then meet your own inner resistance within yourself. As many distortions playing out, and many people that are masking as light workers, and they're playing in the dark, doing everything that they can to derail you or distract you, to use words such as help, save, rescue. No one needs rescuing. Sometimes you need to go so far down and feel like you're pushed so far under that the only choice that you have is to fucking breathe. And to come back from that point, but not come back from that point of fight mode of fuck you, I'm going to show you. Because again, that's still that distorted program playing out of that false identity of what you think you are, or what you're holding on to because you're afraid that something's going to be taken away from you. So you're in this protection mode, and there is truly nothing to let go of because you can't hold on to anything. We're going to have massive shifts over the next 5 weeks. Things are speeding up, and it's becoming more and more vital to be discerning. If there's a situation in an area or someone that you've had in your life, and it's still, there needs to be some space for that, give yourself permission to Velcro off, unplug. Stay in your lane, keep going in and doing your inner work, keep going in. Ask source, show me what I can't see. And then allow. Don't force it, don't push it. Again, that's going into the masher. I'm going to make it happen, I'm going to push and make it happen. That again is going into the masculine. It's that forward force, that penetrating. Invite the possibility of simply letting go, of allowing, of keep trusting and not knowing. And start to see what starts to come up within you. The more and more you push back and you fight against another when they're in their ego, or they're very much in their masculine of I'm right, you're wrong, whatever it is, or righteousness, entitlement, you can't fight with that. All that fire will create more and more smoke. And it will feed all the patterns that are already there. The feminine is that sometimes going into silence and saying nothing and resting in that. And each time you see a reflection of yourself being played out, possibly right in front of you, because that is what we're constantly being shown. The smoke screens and the mirrors you can start to see. And you can start to see those old aspects that used to play out in you, playing out in another, and see them with loving compassion and kindness. Timelines are shifting, and we have a choice which timeline we wish to be on, and we can leap from timeline when we've learnt the karmic lessons that are there to be learnt. Moment to moment, asking yourself, what is the power struggle? We can often think that it's something outside of ourselves, or pointing of this or blaming this, when the greatest power struggle is actually happening within us, moment to moment. Being in discernment of what words that you're choosing to use, this is so, so important. And how others choose to perceive that, that's okay too. You may just need to let that go. Be really wise, so when you speak, you are speaking with words of pure intention. Perhaps that means saying less. If you're in a place, or you're in a relationship, or you're having a conversation with someone and you're having to over-explain what you want to say and what you want to say because you're still not feeling the other person is hearing you, then all you're doing is trying to convince your own ego. It's trying to convince your own rightness, your own specialness, whatever that is. And to sit with that and courageously look at it and allow it to undress itself and grieve through it. Because each time we go in and we do that inner layering, delayering, de-armoring, then we can truly start being these vessels for allow your own uniqueness to flow through. Not from having to find it outside of ourselves, simply by being in that place of allowing. And feeling into that feminine flowing essence that is, it's delicious, it's sensual, it's not sexual, it doesn't need to manipulate anything, it does not need anything from anything outside of itself. It constantly feels replenished. It's a healing energy, and we each have the ability to tap into that more and more, to rest into that divine ocean of feminine deliciousness without feeling that we have to force something, simply in allowing them, rocking up and sharing it in that divine intention of love. Let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts, your comments, whatever's coming up for you. We're in this dance, and consciousness is shifting. It's evolving into feminine rising beyond biology. It has nothing to do with biology. And it's also time for those that have been doing the work relentlessly, for others to start listening, to be guided, to hold space, to sit in and be that reflective mirror, as we are all interconnected, all divine, and we're all in this together. Massive love. Have a magical moment to moment, and look forward to sharing in another moment of the now.